Welcome to Allied Services High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY, sponsored by Hazleton Honda.
Welcome inside Riverside High School. We're in Taylor, Lackawanna County. Tonight, the Lackawanna League Division III lead is on the line as Holy Cross battles Riverside. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, and welcome to Allied Services High School Hoops, presented by Hazleton Honda. And Doug Walsh, we're the only game in town, and it should be a dandy here tonight.
Well, Bob, yeah, Holy Cross on top of the division. Riverside one game behind. This will go a long way to determine the league champion.
Let's talk about the Crusaders first, playing a league-only schedule this year. They're 5-0 and 5-0 in the division. They have 4 starters that they lost from last year, but the guy they had back is our Toyota Spotlight player, and that's Patrick Benny.
Patrick Benny, big force inside. He's a tough handle down low, leading scorer with 15 points a game. Averages almost a double-double every night. He flirts with it. He can take over a game at any occasion. They got to watch him.
Well, this year, Riverside will play anybody, anywhere, anytime. They have 8 wins so far on this season. They may have the best backcourt duo in the Lackawanna League in Brandon Reed and our other Toyota Spotlight player, and that's Michael Rickert.
Michael Rickert, I remember a couple years ago, we did his first game as a freshman against Dunmore. Doesn't seem that long ago. He comes back with the most experience. His drive sets up his 3-ball. He leads the Vikes with 25 made threes. He's got a nice mid-range game, and he's taking his show to Wilkes next year.
Let's go to some keys to the game, Doug. You talked to both coaches. What did they have to say?
Well, for Riverside, they got to protect the paint. They have to be tough inside. They got to rebound the ball. They also have to handle Holy Cross's pressure. Holy Cross has to know where the shooters are. They got to know where, especially where Rickert and Reed are, and they want to control the tempo. They don't want this to be a track meet. They'd rather play a little slower game.
Doug, Holy Cross has won 17 straight games against District 2 opponents. Their last loss to Riverside over a year ago. We'll have the opening tip and the starting lineup on the way.
You're watching Allied Services High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY, sponsored by Hazleton Honda.
Here are now your starters for the 4-time District 2 AA champions. Will be Hosey, Carr, and Mendocino at the guard. Gonzalez and Benny are your forwards. Starting lineups for Riverside, presented by Hazleton Honda, coming in at 8 and Rickard and Antonacci will be in the backcourt. In the front court, Monahan and Mercado round out your starters for Riverside. Not very tall teams, but very gritty teams. They'll go and dive on the floor. Here for the league, James Illiott, Mike Amory, and Scott Shipko. Again, Doug, not big teams, but teams that will really jump on the floor, do whatever it takes to win.
You're going to see a lot of dirty work tonight. Hustle, good, a lot of good. Might not be pretty, but it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, we have some good shooters, too. You'll see a lot of three-pointers being taken. So, Benny and Antonacci tip it off. It goes to Michael Rickert. And Gonzalez for Riverside will control it at the top of the key. Kind of strange to see one of the bigger guys taking it over. It's Todd Monahan, and they'll set it up with Brandon Reed, the 5'10 senior, leading scorer on this team.
I see Holy Cross straight man-to-man as always. Riverside will play man-to-man as well.
Excuse me, 34 is Cross Mercado. I apologize. Mercado into the paint. Holy Cross will run that 2-3 pretty much all night long. And there you see the longtime coach of Holy Cross, and before that, Bishop O'Hara Alcaleas.
Yeah, he's been here for quite some time. He's been pretty successful.
Hayden Hosey will bring it down, just a sophomore. So 2 sophomores, 3 seniors starting for Holy Cross. Again, had to replace 4 starters from last year's team that won the district title. Benny inside, back out to Carr. Carr finds room, and he'll lay it up and in.
Nice job taking the ball off the screen from the posts. And the end one.
Josh Aniska didn't like that. We have our first foul. Carr will shoot it. He's a 57% shooter on the year to wrap up a 3-point play and 3-0 lead for Holy Cross.
Now, if you're Holy Cross, good start on the road. You forced a turnover on the one end. You got a 3-point play on the other end. Just what you needed.
Reed over to Rickard. His first shot off the rim.
Nice.
Hosey pushing the pace to Benny. Doing his deed underneath is Patrick Benny.
Now, Holy Cross doesn't want to run, but they'll pick their spots, and you can run off your rebounds and your defense.
Riverside averaging 57 points per game on the year. 68 threes already. Not one taken yet. Mendocino the rebound. Hosey, they're pushing the pace. Wrap it around the Carr. Carr shoots downtown. He's got it. Quick timeout called by Riverside. 8-0. Holy Cross.
Now, just what you needed if you're Holy Cross to come out of the gate firing. Send a message early to Riverside that we're in first place and you got to come and get us.
Caden Carr averaging 7 points per game. He has 6 already. 2 3-pointers, one the old-fashioned way and one the downtown way.
Yeah, Mendocino with 2 rebounds, a good defense at this end, and then solid offense down at that end.
There you see the last meeting was about a year, just over a year ago. Holy Cross won that. But January 16th of 2020, Riverside won in overtime 66-62 right on this floor right here. So if you're Josh Aniska, you just want to settle the team down. What do you want to see from them?
Well, you know, they come in here. The pressure is kind of on Riverside to start this game because Holy Cross has a leg up. They can play a little loose. Riverside is kind of in a must-win situation, so they might be a little tight. They might be a little tense. Coach Aniska wants to just talk it over again, settle them down. You know how to play the game. Don't get worried. Don't get nervous. Let's start all over again.
Well, Riverside's coming off a win over Mid-Valley, 43-41. That was a last-second shot to win that one. I believe that was on Saturday. Holy Cross, meanwhile, played on Friday. They beat Lackawanna Trail 56-20. So Reed brings it down. Rickard, he'll shoot from out there. If you leave him space, he does.
Well, coming out of that timeout, they ran a staggered double for Rickard. That was coming by design.
Carr, no good. Great job by Benny. Again, on the floor, both teams jump ball and will stay in the Crusaders' hands.
Well, Benny had it, lost it, and then the good effort to get it back.
Back out to Mendocino. Looking for the cutting Hosey, and he has it.
Yeah, they like to look for the inbounder to sneak in behind the post player.
3-pointer downtown for Mendocino.
Now, he used to shoot a lot of threes. Hasn't shot too many this year, but that was true.
So Reed gets Riverside on the board, conventional 2. 9-point lead now for the Crusaders. They come in averaging 50 points per game, but they do it on the defensive end. They only give up 35 points a game in their 5 league games so far. Into Benny Mercado. And Cross pulls it down.
2 similar teams. They play a lot of man-to-man. They'll run when they can. Similar styles.
Mercado controlling it from the top. They must like that matchup a lot. Antianacci, he hits it from 3-point land.
Well, they don't mind Mercado running the point out there. He facilitates, he handles the ball well.
Foul on the floor, Antianacci, that was his 17th 3 on the year, so a little foul before the shot. Second one on Riverside.
We'll see if they don't try to find Hayden Hosey after this ball comes in. He's the inbounder somewhere on the baseline.
Mendocino turn around, no good.
Riverside like to push the pace a little bit.
Reed jumper, back of the rim. Mendocino hands it over to Hayden Hosey, a 5'9" sophomore, who had 17 points against 04, so he could shoot.
Well, he settles them down in the half-court offense, too. He's a good ball handler. He's under control.
Jump, quick whistle on the jump ball over to Riverside. little quick, don't you think?
Yeah, not too many people in the gym like that one.
No. So the cheerleaders here, limited fans as expected. Both teams wearing masks. But still, we got a game here tonight.
Let's see, they switched the pick and roll there. Holy Cross did. Now it'll reset.
In the paint, Monahan, no good. Mercado back out to Antonacci for his second three.
Boy, you got to credit Mercado for pulling that rebound down and didn't just jack it right up. He found his teammate on the perimeter.
Little run now by Riverside is broken by Carr, who's feeling it. Must like this gym. His second three.
He's got 9 of 14.
This is Rickert on Carr. Antonacci, that one went in and out, but Mercado, big offensive board.
Yeah, another good job by Mercado. You see why he's in the lineup. He can handle the ball, he can rebound.
In on a block, and they'll count it. Rickert with the make and the take, and we'll go to break. 3:06 left.
Michael Rickert on the bucket.
Got a great game here in Taylor. 14-12, 14-10 the score. Miss Viking in attendance and the varsity cheerleaders here tonight. Socially distanced and masks safe. So let's set the scene again. We have some Holy Cross fans here tonight, Riverside fans. Cheerleaders masks. Both teams have to wear masks, league rule. No JV game tonight, so that way Holy Cross was able to get over here and play this varsity game only. So we're happy they're here. We're happy to be here.
They took their own cars and got their own rides. A little unusual, but in these unusual times, you got to roll with the punches.
So Michael Rickert, off the foul from Benny, will try to complete the three-point play. He's just a 50% foul shooter on the year. He looked pretty good on that. So he does. And we're back to a 14-11 score. It was 8-0 at one point. Holy Cross, but Riverside has battled back as you might expect. Inside the Benny. Back out to Walsh.
Now you see the game plan for Riverside. They're not going to let Benny control the game, so they ran a double team at him, and he had to give it up.
Monahan's going to be caught for a travel. A little quick on the steps.
If you're Holy Cross now, you want to try to establish Benny, but knowing that they're going to come after him with a double and a chaser, he's got to find his teammates on the perimeter.
How impressive is it? Al Calais has to replace 4 starters, and his team's 5-0.
Yeah, he's done a pretty good job over the years here.
Nice board by Mendocino.
Now, both of these teams are active on the offensive glass. You saw Mercado with 2 offensive rebounds already on that end.
Rickert in. Another 2 is 5.
Now he's capable of taking the game over at any time, Michael Rickert.
At 21 against Carbondale, 19 against Elk Lake.
You know, if you're Riverside, you weather that 8-0 run and 16-13 now, just inside 2 minutes. You're feeling okay now. That timeout by Coach Aniska did the trick.
So Jose gets his first field goal.
You see Caden Carr, he's in charge of Michael Rickert. He's going to pick him up when he walks out of the gym and over to the timeouts and all the way to the drinking fountain.
Reed, little 10-footer.
Riverside's number 10, Brandon Reed.
Of course, Brandon had 31 in the opening game this year against Tunkhannock. Then followed up with 27 versus Old Forks. He's having himself a nice senior year. Double team on Benny. Mendocino, nice look from Benny.
Crusaders, number 31.
He's told, he's well schooled. They know that he's going to get a double, so they told him, as soon as you get it, look opposite.
Mendocino has 7, so does Carr. Rickert with the board, a little up and under. Michael Rickert.
Wow.
He has 7.
Rickert, he got up. He was up in the air there.
He can jump if he wants to.
Again, another offensive rebound. There's been about 3 or 4 for each team, and they've converted on most.
Benny out top. Open look to the rim. Why not take it? And he does.
He found himself so open. They were going to go for 1, but he was so open, he had to take it. I just see they'll try to get Rickert the ball sooner or later. Yeah, here it is now.
Rickert with a travel, so 5 seconds left for Holy Cross, and we have a substitution for Riverside as Josh Galuski comes in for Brandon Reed.
Josh Godleski, number 11, checks in for Riverside.
Galuski, a 5'8" senior. So a very senior-oriented team, Riverside. Hosey over to Mendocino, but his look is off the mark, and that's the way we end the first quarter here in Taylor. A 5-point advantage for those Crusaders.
Let's take a look at a Twin Hills weight loss marquee matchup. You know, oftentimes these wars are some mini battles, and it'll be interesting to see if Doug Walsh can contain Brandon Reed tonight. Walsh is a solid defender, and Reed coming in from the warm-ups, and he tweaked an ankle the other night against Mid-Valley, so that's our Twin Hills weight loss marquee matchup.
So it's a 5-point lead for Holy Cross, the visiting team in the dark uniforms with the green trim. Riverside in the traditional white, blue lettering and some red trim around that. Here at home, so it's Hosey who brings it down over to Walsh. So starters still in the lineup for Holy Cross.
Now, both of these teams only play 7 or 8. They don't go too deep.
Anthony gets a hand on that. Reed right on Walsh on cue, no foul.
Well, just as we said, Walsh a pretty good defender.
Rickert open, he'll shoot the 3. Count it! Downtown, Michael Rickert. His bread and butter.
Now that's where you like to shoot him in transition, and Reed was going down the left side, looking for him on the right side the entire way, and found him.
First player either team in double figures, he has 10. And Benny gets a nice roll. So Patrick Benny, really not in that position he needs to play. He's only 6'1". He plays it very well.
He's a little undersized for that spot, you know. And if you're Riverside, you don't mind that shot right there, a little turnaround jumper, and it kind of just rolled in for you. If he's taking turnaround jumpers, you're okay with that for Riverside.
Benny, the leading scorer for Holy Cross, but really anybody on this floor in a dark uniform can light it up, as we've seen so far.
Hosey trying to get the offense settled. They're trying to get Benny the ball now out on the perimeter to let him work.
Nice caught by the senior Tyler Mendocino.
Nice find by Benny. Drew the help defense and then the dish.
Mercado doesn't lose his shoot from out there. But a great offensive board by Todd Monahan.
Boy, everybody's got an offensive rebound, and Mercado's got 2 for Riverside.
Crossover by Reed. Out to Monahan.
Credit
Excuse
Monahan.
me, Anthony.
Yeah,
I apologize.
Monahan for getting that rebound, and then they found Antonacci on the perimeter, but the good hustle on the offensive glass by Riverside.
Anthony has 3 threes, all for 9 points. Again, these teams will put the ball up from behind that line.
This is a pretty high scoring affair already, 26-23 with only 11 minutes gone.
Crusaders, Tyler Mendocino for 2.
Well, Mendocino has 11 now.
see Rickard now. He's got Hosey on him now. They're going to run 3 or 4 different defenders at him to try to wear him down.
Mercado tried to squeeze it into Reed. It's picked up by Mendocino. Off balance, but picking up the garbage is Mr. Doug Walsh.
Well, credit Walsh. He tipped the ball away at this end, and the great hustle and the foul and offensive putback.
All starters for Holy Cross have scored. Reed with the body. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Good strong move to the basket. As you would expect, Holy Cross not going to give up any easy ones. They're going to foul him and put him on the line. Now, if you get beat off the dribble, you're probably going to get fouled.
So they're going to call it on the floor, no shot. So Holy Cross, Gabe Gonzalez, a 6'1" sophomore in the game. Rickard, pop shot, no good. Pulled down by Benny. Little errant pass to Hosey.
Yep, same 5 for Riverside, though. Nobody's got a break yet.
Well, Reed did at the end of the first quarter.
Oh, that's right, yeah, for 10 seconds.
Yep, for about 10 seconds, yep. But you're right. They'll go with 5 for most of the way. Mercado tried to steal it, couldn't. Carr, he's been hot tonight. Making another one for the sophomore.
He's feeling it.
3 threes for Caden Carr. His high this year was 12 against Lakeland. Going the other way. Patrick Benny takes the charge.
Wow, he did take it too. When you take the hit like that, you deserve the call.
Offensive charge.
Reed was looking to the corner. He had an open man in the corner, but decided to take it himself and picked up the charge.
So Reed has 2 fouls. He's the only player with 2.
Well, in the game, you may go against the grain and let him play a little bit more than he normally would.
Back out to Hosey. A little bit of a push off, but into Benny with the left hand.
Vision by Peyton Hosey. Kind of lost his way, kind of lost the ball, but still knew that Benny was open on the baseline.
It's a little run now by the Crusaders. Ianacci inside, got the position, and will go to the line. So we'll take a timeout. 3:28 left in the half. A 12-point lead, just like that, for Holy Cross. Back inside, Riverside, the home Vikes and the Vikings, both having excellent seasons so far this year. Doug, it's a 12.
Yeah, 3 or 4 possessions in a row. They played good defense. Got 2 wide open looks on 2 good passes inside, and then they got a wide open look for Carr, and all of a sudden it's 12.
So the largest lead of the night for Holy Cross, who jumped out 8-0.
Now, Holy Cross is going to keep coming at you for 32 minutes. That's for sure. There's going to be no let up. There's no breaks. There's no time off. They're coming at you the entire game.
And they're shooting the ball really well. I mean, they're not missing a lot.
Well, when you get 4 3-point plays from Carr, 3 threes and an old-fashioned 3, that's kind of unexpected. So
Frankie Antonacci, a sophomore, 65% on the season. Hits the first of 2. He had 14 against Wyoming area and 14 this year against Delaware Valley. Into Benny in the paint. Carr's been hot. That's a little short. But Mendocino is there and does a great job getting that rebound.
I think it'll get Antonacci on a grab, I think. He thought he had a jump ball.
Riverside, Frank Antonacci, team 4th.
14 fouls now on Riverside. 3 on.
When see Godleski in the game now for Riverside. Pretty good defender.
Little layup, no good, but Benny is there, and he gets the hoop and the to the line for the three-point play.
Another off rebound. I'm gonna tell you what, each team has a good percentage, 4, 5, 6 offensive rebounds, and not only are they getting them, they're capitalizing on them.
Mercado picks up the foul, his first, so he'll take a seat. Brendan Reed back in.
One shot.
Reed's 4 points so far, and at least the three-point play. Was close, 16 advantage. Reed no good, so Riverside has gone cold.
I think Riverside's a little surprised at the pace that Holy Cross is playing at. They thought it would be lower.
In the man-to-man. Riverside losses this year. Crusaders content just to run a little bit of clock off, under 2 minutes in the half.
Get what they want.
Good battle from Antonacci, but a bigger battle from Patrick.
Holy Cross has seemed to be doing whatever they want, getting whatever they want.
Rickard no good. Riverside doesn't have a field goal since it was 28-23 midway through the second, so they've gone cold.
That's Holy Cross's calling card. They wear you down on defense, constant ball pressure.
Point lead for Holy Cross. Nice move by Carr, but taken away from Monahan. Reed looking for a shot, but great defense. On the floor as Reed was dribbling around.
Yeah, they're gonna get Doug Wall playing a good defensive. He's really doing a job on Reed. He's frustrating Reed, and you see Reed with his hands on his knees there. He's gassed. He's working hard for everything he's getting.
Calciano, 4-5-4 into the game, guarding Reed.
They got to give Walsh a break. He's been working pretty hard. Picked up that foul just for the last minute here. They'll get him out of the game.
One of the better looks that Riverside has seen, but Monahan couldn't make the layup. See what Holy Cross wants to do, play for the last shot.
Yeah, if they get something, they'll take it, but they're probably going to hold this ball to the last shot.
Mendocino, no, up quickly with 20 seconds left. Riverside with an opportunity at least to get something before the break.
Coach Galeas and Flory, he said we were going for one. We were going for one. You weren't supposed to shoot that.
Reed lost the handle in 7 seconds left. Nope, they get it back. Downtown Monahan, no good. And Reed, turnaround, no good. So a fast-paced second quarter, and just like that, Holy Cross has extended their advantage. They have an opening tip. Coming up in the Toyota halftime report, we'll hear from our friends from Allied Services. Doug and I will break down District 2 standings, and we'll have stats and highlights from a very entertaining
I am joined by Erin Pilch. She is the Assistant Director of Nursing for Allied's Inpatient Rehab. Erin, thank you for being here today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
So, Erin, can you explain to us how important nurses are at a place like Allied Services?
Oh, nurses are key for 24/7 care of the patient, from medication passes to treatments, to make sure that the patient benefits from the therapy that they're needed to receive.
So if somebody has a healthcare background, how could they get a job at Allied, and how would you guys prepare them for that?
Anybody thinking about getting into the medical profession can come in to be a nurse's aide, start off right at the basics. That is, they can get a feel for what it is to be in the medical profession. They can see a lot that goes on, and also nurses, LPNs, RNs. We are looking for anybody in the medical profession that's interested and wants to keep and be an intricate part of the medical profession. There's a lot of experience to be had.
So coronavirus has, caused a lot of changes for a lot of jobs. What have you guys done to kind of get over those hurdles?
From day one, Allied has been very key in making sure the patients and the employees are safe. Everything, masks, face shields, gowns, gloves, we have everything to keep the patient and the employees safe. We started from day one also when it was mandated to do the screening coming into the facility and leaving the facility. So we are prepared.
Well, Erin, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for the work that you do for Allied Services.
Thank you.
We are back at Riverside High School for tonight's Lackawanna League Division III matchup between the Crusaders and the Vikings. The lead in Division III was on the line, but a big run in the second quarter for Holy Cross has given the Crusaders what has turned out to be an 18-point lead.
They got hot there a little bit. They're sharing the ball well. They're playing really good defense on this end. Doug Walsh is frustrating Brandon Reed. They're doing a real good job on Rickert. Now, he has gotten double figures, but he's working hard for everything he's attained, and it's a good defensive performance at one end and a pretty good offensive performance at the other end for Holy Cross.
Riverside scored just 7 points in that second quarter. They went cold. 20 points for Holy Cross.
Now, that's their calling card. Holy Cross, as we said before, they're gonna kill you on defense. They're gonna work real hard, and then when they can run, they're going to pick their spots. And if you can defend and rebound, you can always run.
Let's take some quick first half highlights. A lot of shooting going on. 42 points up for the Crusaders. And this guy, Carr, the sophomore, was feeling it early on.
He got hot. He had a three-point play and then a couple of threes. And he gets some threes in transition. You see Mendocino knocking one down. And the find by Mercado, he's a good passer. You see he finds Antonacci on the perimeter. A second time, he kind of likes that passing that ball. You see they double team down low in a post, and Benny turns around and finds Carr for one of his 3 threes. Rickert's been working hard. He's double figures offensively. That was one of his easier ones, but they're making him work awful hard.
Him and Brandon Reed. Reed here only has 4 points. Rickert gets that Reed miss. But Reed, 20 points a game coming in, just 4. Holy Cross doing a nice job on him. Carr into double figures, playing really well. Hosey got in the mix. It looks like everybody just scored for Holy Cross. Patrick Benny, the leading scorer. So that's where we stand right now. 42-24 is the score. When Doug and I return, we'll look at some District 2 standings, because playoffs, believe it or not, are right around the corner. Riverside back on the floor, warming up, trying to cut into that Holy Cross lead as quick as they can, because they are down big now, 42-24. And Doug, in the short season district standings, the playoffs will be here right around the corner. There's going to be a lot of basketball played in the next 3 weeks, but Holy Cross right now, again, the 4-time District 2 AA champions, the favorite in this division once again.
Yeah, going for a 5-peat. They're on top again, and until somebody knocks them off, they're the king of the hill. They had a tough game against Old Fords the other night. In overtime, they squeaked one out. Elk Lake's a good team there, so it's not going to be a cakewalk.
3A right now, Wyoming Seminary, who is coming back shortly from the COVID shutdown. They lead points-wise, but they've only played 5 games so far. Riverside has 10 games in the book. Dunmore already beating Riverside. And we saw Redeemer the other day. Don't be deceived by that 3-7 record. That's a good Redeemer team. They just had some bad luck lately.
Yeah, and you see Riverside there in the 2 slot. They've been kind of working toward this season. Looking forward to. They have a good senior-laden team, capped with a couple of sophomores, so they feel they can make a run here in the 3A.
And in 4A, Dallas, we saw them the other night. Prep, 2 losses in a row. Mid-Valley Lehman right there. Really, that's wide open. Dallas the favorite so far, even though they lost to Williamsport the other night.
That's a strong bracket right there. There's no cupcakes in that. Anybody can win that one.
Okay, let's talk about the game right here, Doug. Your Vikings, how do you get back into it?
Well, you can't give up 42 points in the second half, that's for sure. You got to come up with a number, maybe 63 or 2 or something like that, and you really got to play some hard defense and get some rebounds and get a lot of stops, and then you got to push the ball up the floor.
Again, a Holy Cross team that has given up this season in their 5 games just 35.8 points per game. And good D grabbing at the ball on Reed. He turns it over.
Now, if you're Riverside, that's exactly what you didn't want to happen on the first possession coming out when you're down 18, is to turn it over.
So Patrick Benny leads the way for the Crusaders. He has 13. Carr has 12, and Mendocino 11.
Yeah, they share the ball. They don't care who gets the accolades, who gets the shot. They'll pass up a good one for a better one. Play good team basketball.
Same starters on the floor for both teams. Good position by Benny. Little pump fake.
Boy, he worked real hard to get Mercado out of position. Finally got himself posted up. He got it too deep. Anybody's going to score when they get it that deep.
Antianachi, he hits from downtown, so he's had the hot hand tonight. That's his 4th 3 of the game. But they need to make stops on this end.
Yeah, they have to. The game's going to be, if they're going to come back, it's going to be done on this end, that's for sure.
Mendocino off the mark.
That was a set play, too. They designed a jumper for Mendocino there, just didn't fall.
Antianachi feeling it. He gets the hoop and the harm, and he'll go to the charity stripe to complete the 3-point play.
Well, in the first half, there was a lot of Rickert and Reed, and now Antonaci's going to say, well, maybe I can contribute here a little bit in the second half, see if we can bring our guys back.
So he connects.
Very athletic, Antonaci. Both ends of the floor, he's pretty athletic.
So 6-3 advantage so far for the Vikings, down 14 now. It's the Crusaders ball right in front of Coach Al Calais, 14th season with Holy Cross. Before that, of course, with Bishop O'Hara.
It's interesting to see if Holy Cross will be a little bit more deliberate. They're definitely running their sets. They're going to get a hold on Antonaci down there. Benny's they're trying to post up. They're trying to go high-low and get Benny posted up inside.
Number 25.
Mercado had a little difficulty last trip, and then they got a foul on Antonaci this trip. They're trying to feature Benny in the post.
Frankie Antianaci, his 3rd personal foul of the game, the only player in trouble. Into the corner. Off the mark from Walsh, but another offensive border and another opportunity for Holy Cross. And that's been the story tonight, rebounding.
And that was one of the keys that Coach Aniska said. We have to control the boards, and they're doing a pretty good job of it.
Holsey looking inside for Benny. No, with cross court to Mendocino. And a big board from Mercado. Reed double team again. That's a couple times he's tried to take it down there. Little up and under from Hosey, the sophomore.
Yeah. Again, they got Brandon Reed out of sorts a little bit on the defensive end. They've got him frustrated.
Quick shot by Antianaci, no good. So Riverside has to play their game, and they're just taking some quick shots. That's been Carr's game tonight.
That's number 3.
And that's a quick timeout from Josh Aniska. As his team started out well, but again, missed shots, good boards from Holy Cross, and Holy Cross is hitting their field goals.
Well, I'm sure they talked about it at halftime. We got to know where Caden Carr is, and that's what that timeout was all about there. We got him in transition, got him a good look, and he knocked it down for his 4th 3 of the game.
He has 15, and he came in averaging just 7 and had 12 against Lakeland. So more offense from tonight for Caden Carr. And here are the win-losses so far in the 5 games for Holy Cross. Both.
You see them there. They a 2-point win against Mid-Valley, and the Old Forge game was an overtime game, but still they came out on top. You know, good teams win those close games. Good teams win when you don't play your best and you still come out on top. That's what the good teams do.
Holy Cross, of course, playing a league-only schedule, which some teams have decided to do this year. Holy Cross, Riverside has gone out though, and picked up some games where they could.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You know, some of these guys, 3 or 4 years, they've been working toward their senior year, and then this pandemic hits and kind of fouls everybody up. It's unfortunate for the upper class guys.
Riverside had it down to 14, but then a little 6-0 run by Holy Cross has extended the lead back to 19. See if Rickert can get into it. No foul called. He looked up.
Carr doing on both ends. He's guarding Rickert.
Benny and Mercado get bodied up. Here comes Antonacci. See what Brandon Reed wants to do on Walsh. Walsh has done a nice job in our marquee matchup tonight on Riverside's leading scorer.
Yeah, I'd have to say that Doug Walsh has gotten the better of Brandon Reed tonight, that's for sure.
Let's see if that gets Rickert going.
Well, he's got a quick release.
Couple threes tonight, gives him 27 on the year. And last year, he shot 70, made 74 threes.
Yeah, he gets himself set before he receives the ball, and he's got that quick release, as I said.
Monahan over to Reed. Rickert, a little space, that's all he needs.
Yeah, he's
2
got
in a row for Michael Rickert.
He's got a scorer's mentality, yeah. Coach Calais a little upset. That's the guy we told you not to let shoot.
So we'll stay right here.
30-second timeout.
Yeah, you see how he receives it ready. He's in position. He's got his feet square already before he gets the ball.
So little 6-0 run now. Couple threes for Michael Rickert. And a quick timeout by Al Calais.
Yeah. It's doable. The way Antonacci can score and the way Rickert can score, it's doable. But again, you gotta get some stops. Consistently get some stops.
So a Bath Fitter timeout from Coach Calais. Riverside needs good defense. They came in just giving up 43 points per game, so no slouch on that end either. Just Holy Cross has had some hot shooting tonight.
Yeah, they have been hot. 49 points with 3:48 to go in the third.
They have 3 players already in double figures.
You see why they wanted to play this game tonight, I guess.
Well, they were supposed to play Sunday against Dunmore as we had a foul inside, but that got canceled.
Riverside's number 15.
No.
Monahan.
If they could hold on to this one here.
His first.
We'll take a timeout on the floors. 13-point lead for the visitors from Holy Cross. The Vikings have it to within 13 right now, but Holy Cross still leading the way. So the Vikings this year, 10 games in the book, opened with Tunkhannock and Delaware Valley. Some big wins, some big points in there, too, as well. Their only losses, again, North Pocono was one of the tops in Division II, and Dunmore right now in Division III.
Yeah, that Tunkhannock team that's up and coming as well, that's a good win there. That first game against Tunkhannock, too. So they've played some good teams, and they've beaten some good teams.
Right now, they trail by 13 into Benning. Benning doesn't waste any time in there, getting the ball up in the air.
You can see what they talked about at halftime. Every trip has been, sooner or later, it's got into Patrick Benny's hands in this third quarter.
Reed, little floater.
Riverside.
He's on the board since the first quarter. That's his first field goal.
Yeah, maybe that'll get him going. He's got a nice mid-range game. He's quick off the dribble. He's got a nice pull-up jumper.
Hosey says, I can do that. Same thing. 8 for him. So Riverside, you can't match baskets. You need stops on this end.
Right.
Mercado. He tries to go up and under. Antonacci is going to get fouled and shoot 2.
Yeah, you're going to get Allardyce with a bump on the hand.
So it's going to go against Allardyce into the game for the first time, the 6'1" senior. His first foul at the line, Frankie Antonacci.
Frank Antonacci at the line.
He connects.
And just giving Caden Carr a little bit of a rest.
So another one from Antonacci is good. So it's within 13 now.
Thought I might see a little bit pressure for Riverside there after a made foul shot.
Caden Hosey.
It's 2 in a row for Hosey and the little mid-rangers.
Well, if they're going to give it to you, you're going to take it, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a breakdown on Riverside side. I mean, on their end.
Really, hardly any resistance on those last 2. A good strong move by Antonacci, just didn't finish. May have gotten away with the offensive.
Mendocino off the mark, though, running a little bit. Rickard opened it, didn't see him. He'll shoot from wherever, trust me. Nice look to Monahan. That was pretty.
Yeah, nice job, good patience. Rickard with the drive and a good cut by Monahan.
Monahan's first points of the game. So all the starters have scored, except Mercado tonight for Riverside. And that's 3 in a row.
Again with Hosey. Yeah, that just goes to show you how versatile Holy Cross is and how balanced they are.
And Reed finally gets the call he was looking for. And he will go to the line.
We're going to get Doug Walsh again, but he's really frustrating Reed all night long.
Reed's first free throws of the evening, 80% from there.
He gets to the line a lot, Bob.
Yeah.
He's gotten the line, 60 times this year, 56 coming in, and this is his second trip, I do believe. So that's an awful lot of times he gets to the line. The next guy is Monahan with 23. I mean, that's a considerable difference.
And he hits the second of 2.
You see why, though. He drives it hard to the basket.
Yeah, he's opposite of Rickard. He's not really a three-point shooter. Yeah. So Hosey's made the last 3 for Holy Cross. A little mid-range. See what they give him. Benny out of the paint now.
Well, they're going to be patient. They're not going to go for one. They're just going to be patient and take a good one whenever it comes. And they get a 14-point lead with just under a minute to go.
Yeah, Kyle Calais now he'll work the time. His teams are programmed now to hold the ball. Into Benny, nice move, good D by Mercado.
Yeah, good defense by Mercado was right. They're going right back into him now.
Oh, how about Benny? He got up there so high. No, they're not going to say it didn't count. It was on the floor. But boy, what a board by Patrick Benny.
Yeah, they posted up twice. They went into him. Good defense by Mercado, as you said. He kicked it back out. And oftentimes, right after you come back out, you're wide open again inside, and they got it right back into him.
Monahan's second. Gillespie, the senior, back into the game for Riverside, number 11.
I'm sure this time now they'll go for one with 20 seconds to go. You know, Riverside, they're working, they're playing good defense. Look at the trap out top. You know, almost had it.
Carr gets the handle, can't get that one to go. Taken away by Mendocino, and that won't count. And that about sums up the night for Riverside. Just taken away out of his hands, he lays it up and in, and it extends the lead now back to 16 as we enter the fourth quarter. Here in Taylor. Holy Cross had an 18-point halftime lead. Riverside has cut into that a little bit, but can't get beyond 13 so far. So we are going to be busy here in our high school hoops. We'll be at Crestwood Friday night for Crestwood and Tunkhannock. Then we have Riverside, the girls, playing Dunmore. That's a great matchup. And then now, February 26th, we'll be at North Pocono as the Cavaliers take on the Trojans. Ben Chilson for Tunkhannock last night, 50 points in that game.
Wow, Tunkhannock is up and comers. Yeah, I'll tell you what.
So looking forward to see Ben Chilson and that tall Tunkhannock team try to avenge a loss already to Crestwood. But right here, Division III is being led by Holy Cross, and they're just extending this lead now. Hosey, I think that might be 4 in a row.
No.
5, I mean Mendocino in there.
They were high, 1-4 high, and went a little back door. Again, the ball went into Benny.
So Walsh picks up his third personal for Holy Cross. Rickard out top. Hosey with the foul. His first.
Number 4, Hosey.
I see they run something for Rickard when he takes it. He inbounds it, and then he's patient. They pause a little bit, and then they run a little screen for him.
Double team on Rickard, but he does a nice job. Rickard headed to Wilkes. Play for Izzy Metz.
Now look at Riverside. It's not over yet. You got to play. You got to win it down at this end. A good job by Mercado.
Yeah. Rickard will push it from behind. Walsh knocks it out of bounds. Right into the superintendent's hands. Good hands by Paul Brennan.
Let's see what happened on this trip with inbounds play.
Mercado can't get it in. Almost a 5-second call knocked out by Holy Cross. Right in front of their bench. As you can see, all the players spread out on the bench, even the coaches. Everyone in here wearing a mask. Good job by Walsh tonight.
He's really frustrated, Brandon Reed.
And that's actually Mendocino on him that time as well.
Well, they got a little switch on that little dribble handoff.
So the Crusaders sure will work some clock. Walsh hit the side. And Donaci to Rickard. Reed thought about it. He'll take it to the hole, and he gets the call.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Caden Carr with a pop on the head.
Carr's second. 16th foul so far on Holy Cross.
Second personal.
Yeah, you see there it is. He got him on the head.
Riverside's Brandon Reed at the line.
So Reed again to the line. Pretty much held in check tonight, under his 20 points per game.
Shooting 1.
Well, he's had to work for everything he's got tonight too. But yeah, I just see. You see why he gets to the line though. He's quick off the dribble, and he initiates the contact and draws the calls.
Hits 2. He has 9 right now. Now here's the full court pressure you thought you saw before, but couldn't. Mendocino, no good. Mercado with a little body might help that, and Riverside gets the possession.
Well, the thing about that is, even if you don't come up with the steal, you hurry up Holy Cross in the offense, and that helps you get more possessions for Riverside.
I think that's what Al Calais just said to his coaching staff. Rickert, short, Walsh, and Doug Walsh. No relation to our own Douglas Walsh. Brings it up.
Not.
Little mid-range, no good. Here comes Reed. I'm sure he'll push it. Yep, he is lefty, and he gets it knocked out of bounds by Walsh.
He's kind of all over the place, Doug Walsh, isn't he? He's everywhere on defense.
Yeah, just about 4 points per game, but, you know, does a nice job on the defensive end.
Well, they got an easy one on the inbounds play, but Monahan just couldn't convert.
Benny again with another offensive board, and will stay over on the Crusaders' side. Well, it's 6'1", Patrick Benny. I think it's an understatement. Plays bigger than he's listed.
Yeah. Let's see if this ball doesn't go into him on this trip. They kind of got away from it for a few trips, but let's see if it doesn't go back down into him sooner or later.
Reed went for the steal and got caught. He'll pick up a foul. His third.
Number 10, Brandon Reed.
Well, still doable if you're Riverside with 14 with 5:40 to go.
Third person.
There's Josh Aniska, third season. Of course, was a player here.
Had a pretty solid career here.
Carr inside the Benny. Carr, quick release. And Tanachi back. All kinds of hands over him. No fouls called.
Yeah, good job by Caden Carr. Got his hand in there to poke that one away.
How about we try the same thing? Mercado and Benny, and he's going to get fouled, but he'll go to the line.
Caden Carr having quite a night. Playing the two-man game with Benny.
Second personal.
And he's so strong inside. He positions himself well. And he's pretty good here, too, at the foul line. I guess I shouldn't have said that.
67%. He had 23 against Lakeland with timeout and 19 against Mid-Valley. And when I saw him against Lakeland, he was doing everything he could inside. And they couldn't stop him, the Chiefs. So,
and the other thing about it, too, Bob, is when your hardest worker puts up the best numbers, that gets a little bit contagious on your team. He certainly is the hardest worker out there. He does a nice job of posting up and kicking it back out, and offensive rebounding. He's got a nice little game, Patrick Benny.
So a back fitter, full timeout for Al Calais. You know what he's saying? Hold the ball. Let's get to the foul line. Let's get a little time off the clock.
Yeah, he's lobbying for some whistles over at the other end, yeah. And 5 fouls, so Riverside still has one more to give if they choose to.
Benny hasn't scored in a while, but Hosey's really taken up that balance. Hits that second one, so he has 18.
Yeah, kind of the unsung hero is Hosey, too. You know, between him and Carr, they got a ton of points. They got half their points, and you don't expect those guys to be the scorers.
Yeah, Hosey is 14, and Reed will go to the line off the foul from Mercado. So this is what you want. You want to make free throws, no time off the clock if you're Riverside.
Yeah, you got to drive it. You got to try to offensive rebound, and then, as we said before, if you get the makes, then you can get into some full court pressure.
So on the 1-on-1, Reed makes the front end. So he's hit 4 free throws in a row. Make that 5. And it's 62-49. Full court pressure now by the Vikings.
Now Benny's bringing it up.
Benny could play in college, but he's definitely not going to be playing the 5.
That's for sure.
He's more of a 4. Carr, he was feeling it early tonight. Can he get it back? He can't. Big board by Monahan. Reed now. Rickert floating back, couldn't see him.
Boy, nice job by that guy, that Mercado on that last possession down there, fighting for that rebound.
Benny takes out Mercado.
He's done a lot of dirty work, Mercado. He's had a really nice game. He's not going to come up in a lot in the stat sheet, but he's gotten a lot of offensive rebounds. He's playing real hard defense. He's doing his best on Benny inside. He's gotten some good rebounds. He's made a couple good passes.
0 for 1 on the year from the line. Nice looking shot though.
Yeah.
So Mercado is on the scoreboard. So all 5 starters have a point.
Well, as you said, Bob, now they're scoring without the clock running. They're still in this thing.
And he hits both, so it's down to 11. That's the closest they've been since the first half. And a quick foul on Riverside. But that's turning into a free throw contest now.
Well, I think they got one more, though. They're going to get Reed.
Yep.
So now, is it too early to start picking a guy out and fouling every time he touches it?
Well, Reed has to watch. He has 4 fouls.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was close by Hosey. Almost stepped out of bounds.
Ironically, the guy that's having the best night is the worst foul shooter on the floor is Caden Carr.
Yeah. Good look to Mendocino. He lays it up and in.
Yeah. Caden Carr knew he was open in the post. If he didn't have that ball in his hand a second, and he fired it in there to the open man.
Reed will try a 3, no good. Hosey the push. I'm sure Coach Calais didn't want that, but Rickert is down floating. He'll try to stop and shoot a 3. He's got it.
Michael Rickert a 3.
Riverside gets
Timeout. We'll stay right here.
Riverside.
We'll stay right here. 3:43 left. A 30-second timeout by Al Calais. And he's saying, don't shoot.
Well, you know what happens when you play like this and you get a lead, you see the push, and then Rickert, good hustle by Caden Carr to get back to change that shot, but Rickert's still good enough to knock it down. You know, what got you here was the good defense and the push, and then when you try to put the brakes on, then you kind of lose your mojo. You kind of lose your little, and then the other team can crawl back into it. I always thought you don't want to do it too early, you know?
So here's what Holy Cross has on the schedule coming up. Old Forge coming up Thursday, Carbondale, Mid-Valley, Lakeland. We'll squeeze in Dunmore now today. They made that February 21st. So they'll play Dunmore back-to-back games with a day off in between, which is typical in this. The end of season, February 27th, hosting Riverside.
Well, that's a tough full schedule they got there. But they may have a cushion.
So it's down to 10 again. How about 8? Make a great steal from Michael Rickert.
Now, there's no quitting this Riverside team, that's for sure. They're doing what they have to do.
This little run has started when they started pressing. Rickert, downtown, Michael Rickert, got it! This place is going nuts. Another timeout, we'll stay right here.
Now you see in transition, you run off your defense at a good time to shoot a 3. And Rickert's really feeling it now with the last 2 3 balls.
10-2 run for Riverside. We'll stay right here in the full timeout, and then we'll take our break coming up. So a bath fitter timeout, and it was a 19-point lead at one point. Now Doug Walsh, it's down to 5.
No, Riverside doing what they have to do. There's no quitting them. They're doing a good job on the defensive end, and they're getting to the foul line, making foul shots, allowing them to get into their press.
Next.
And then converting on all, kind of getting on, clicking on all cylinders here just for the last 3 or 4 minutes. So, but now if you're Holy Cross, you got to weather this storm. You got to get back to basics. You got to get the ball over the timeline and run your offense a little bit. Maybe it's got to go down into Benny. He can control the game from down there.
You mentioned that they should have pressed. Maybe they should have done it earlier, because this is really when it's turned around.
You like to press after. You can only press after makes or after making foul shots. So they're finally getting to the line now and making their foul shots. There's no quitting this team. I'll tell you what, this is 2 good teams. There's no doubt about it. This Riverside team is a force to be reckoned with.
So everyone, all the Riverside fans now getting into it. Those that are here. They get it into Benny. Mendocino, it's going to be a kick.
Yeah, Monahan.
And that should be our timeout. It is. You don't want to leave your sets. We should have an exciting finish. Sharon Taylor coming up here on MyTV. Bye-bye, Doug Walsh back in Taylor and Doug. It was 61-43 to begin the fourth quarter. 16-3 run by Riverside has the lead for Holy Cross down to 5. And here's what the Vikings have coming their way. Elk Lake, again, a very tough team. And, everyone's going to play the same teams. Come down to that Holy Cross matchup. Everyone wants to win the division first, but really once these 2 teams go their separate ways, they'll have success in the district playoffs.
Yeah, you see that, there's just 2. Elk Lake is tough there, Old Forge is tough there. You got to go to Dunmore. So there's a long way to go, that's for sure.
3:15 left in this one. Both teams will be in 1-1. On the next foul from Riverside. Knocked out of bounds. But really, Holy Cross has not had time. Under pressure here in the fourth quarter. Back to Mendocino. Hosey almost walked, but a nice look inside to Benny.
But they run the same play that Riverside runs, and they got him on it.
Rickards hit a couple big threes here in the fourth quarter as well.
And you see Hosey's not going to let him get another one off. That's what they were talking about in that timeout.
Reed. Knocked away, and it will go over to the Crusaders.
Mercado got a hand on it.
Full court, man-to-man pressure put on by Riverside. Under 3 to play. Knocked out of bounds by Antonacci. You don't have to foul yet.
No, I think maybe one more possession. If you get a try to get a stop here, but you got to pick a player out there that when he touches the ball, you want to foul him. And it is that gentleman right there, although he's having a night. Sometimes when you have nights like this, even if you're not a good foul shooter, you seem to knock them down.
But he is a first-year starter. He's just a sophomore.
And it's the guy you want to foul. He's shooting 57% from the foul line. But as I said, he's having a career night.
He is 15. He had 1 3 in the third. He had 12 at halftime. And he misses. Mercado, big board. That's a big miss. Opportunity now. And Antonacci will kick it back out to Mercado and to Reed take over.
You get Mendocino.
And Mendocino on a little touch foul. That will send their best free throw shooter on the floor for either team to the line.
Doing what they have to do, Riverside. Drawing contact.
Still 1-1. Figure Law Firm free throw is good. That's 6 in a row now for Reed. He has 12 points. 6 of those from the free throw line. Make that 7.
Yeah, allows them the full court pressure. You get guys handling the ball that don't normally handle it for Holy Cross.
Hosey straight down. Good dish to Mendocino. Good job breaking the press from the Crusaders.
You got to credit Hayden Hosey. He broke the trap, went through behind his back, went through the double team. And
Rickard with a Hosey finger in his face.
That was range. That was about 5-6 feet beyond the arc.
Well, we know he can shoot. Goes
They got
out
a
of
5
bounds.
count. They got a 5-second count.
5 threes on the night for Rickard. 4 of those in the second half.
He's trying to get him another one here.
Great look from Reed. What a pass from Mercado. And the lead is down to 2.
They'll screen the screener play, and they got Reed with an easy one.
Holy Cross had a 19-point lead at one point in this game. And a foul by Antonacci. I don't think that's a bad one at all.
No, you can't give him an easy one. You got to make him earn it with the 2 on the line. Look at Rickard is gassed. I'll tell you what, these guys playing with these masks on and playing this kind of intensity, it's got to be difficult.
Antonacci will foul out of this game.
Well, he played a great game. He got him some baskets. He got him started early when they needed it, when they were having trouble scoring. He got him. He played some great D. He had some good rebounds, timely threes.
So the senior leaves with 17 points for the Vikings. Excuse me, the sophomore.
Tyler Mendocino at the line for the Crusaders. 2 shots.
Godleski will just take the rest of the way for Antonacci.
Well, Mendocino's not a very good foul shooter either. Just 50%.
They fouled the right guy, so it turns out to be a good foul. Even though he fouls out of the game, yeah, you can't let him have that deuce. So put him on the foul line, and he's already missed one. See what happens here.
Doug, if he makes this, it's still just a 1-possession game.
Yeah.
He makes the second, so it is. Rickard is the guy, but they don't need a 3, right?
No, you don't have to start jacking up threes. Yeah, you can take a 2.
Foul inside. Reed will go to the line one more time.
And they're gonna get Caden Carr. He thought he had all ball.
So again, with the clock stopped, best free throw shooters at the line.
I can see why he gets to the line an awful lot. He takes the ball to the basket. He forces defenders to help. He forces you to reach. He forces you to try to block his shot.
Down to 2. Almost a 5-second call. Trap in the corner and a foul. Oh, they're going to call a walk.
I think he did walk, yeah.
Coach Calais can't believe it.
And they get the ball inbounds to Benny, and then he immediately tries to find Hosey because they're doing a good job denying Hosey the ball.
Mercado to Benny. We're tied.
Number 10, Brandon Reed.
We are tied at 69 apiece. Just over a minute to play in this game. Holy Cross at one point had a 19-point advantage.
Holy Cross.
Riverside has had themselves a 4th quarter for the ages.
Full timeout.
You gotta love the way Mercado has played this game. He's done everything they asked him. He doesn't even care if he scores. That was a nice little dish there. He was bottled up a little bit. And he found Reed for the tire.
What's been the difference? How has Riverside gotten back into this game?
Well, they've played pretty good defense on this end, but their offense has really picked up. They made some tough shots. They made some good shots. They made timely threes. The press got them back in it. They forced Holy Cross into playing a little faster, and they turned them over a little bit. You add up all those things there, and you make up a 19-point deficit.
Second half scoring, 45 for Riverside, 27 for Holy Cross. Remember, the Crusaders outscored Riverside in that second quarter, 20-7.
Yeah, yeah.
So Riverside had reversed it. I mean, they got it within 13, 11, and then they put that full court pressure on, and next thing you know, we're tied.
Well, basketball is a game of runs. It's sometimes who has the longest run and sometimes who has the last run. And Riverside certainly is on the last run right now with 1:09 to go. They've tied it up. And one more foul for Holy Cross still in the 1-and-1, so there's still a little bit more pressure on them when they do go to the line.
They've had trouble with this a little bit tonight. Benny has it. Kicked out by Mercado. It will stay Crusader ball. So Hosey's played well, and Benny.
And I think we're going to go back to that. I know I keep beating a dead horse, but the ball has to be in, at some point in every possession, it's got to be in Benny's hands.
Thrown away by Mendocino.
They ran that same out of bounds play. It was supposed to be a curl, and the curler wasn't looking for it.
Under a minute to play here in Taylor. Riverside has come back from a 19-point lead. Are they playing for one? Our marquee matchup. Walsh.
I got timeout.
And Reed. Timeout call. Josh Aniska.
Riverside. Full timeout.
I think they were considering they were trying for one, were they? Looked like they were working the clock. That's a long time to go, though, without turning the ball over a minute.
That it is. So a Bathfitter timeout called by Riverside. And you don't need a three. So Rickard and Reed. Reed's done a nice job in the second half, penetrating and getting fouled and making his free throws.
Yeah, you'll probably see him do that again. Probably going to try to drive it. Maybe come out with a high screen and roll. They did that against Mid Valley. They came out with a high screen and roll late in the clock. Now, I don't know. This is an awful long time. Over a minute, they've already started. They kicked off 20 seconds. What is it? 49 to go in the game. So that's an awful long time to try to hold the ball out. I wouldn't try to do that. Then if you're on the other side, if you're Holy Cross, would you commit a foul and just make sure you have control of your destiny? Some coaches will do that. I know the score is tied, but foul them and then you control the outcome rather than relying on your defense to try to stop them. Interesting to see how the coaches play this one out.
Riverside had a close one, last second shot by Rickard, I think, against Mid Valley the other day.
Could he do it again?
Could he do it again? Right. Rickard's really hit some big threes in this game.
He's worked for everything. He's gassed. He is so tired, but
he's got
see
22.
See if he has one more in him.
Rickard has 22. Reed has a little room cut off. Is a Reed or Rickard? Or is it one of the other players on the floor for the Vikings? 25 on the clock.
Yeah, they're definitely going for one. They had Mercado down there. Didn't see him.
Quick timeout. Coach Aniska make it a 30. Well, now it's definitely going to be a one last second shot here to see who wins this Division III matchup that has turned into be the game of the year here in the Lackawanna League.
Now, oftentimes these games are won by a missed shot and a putback. So if you're Holy Cross, you got to make sure you don't allow an offensive putback for Riverside. Riverside should probably shoot with 5, 4, 3 seconds to go, so there's not much time left, but enough time for an offensive rebound. But not enough time to advance the ball the whole length of the floor.
So Rickard or Reed, or is it maybe you leave Mercado alone and he makes
I'll
the
tell you
layup?
what, that would be poetic justice if Mercado would knock the last pass, because he played a whale of a game, and he has no stats to prove it, but he's played a great game.
Well, it's all seniors on the floor for Riverside.
Yeah, they are senior both teams, but Riverside's been waiting a long time for this team.
Here we go. Into Reed's hands. Oh, he almost stepped down the half-court line. He did not. Trying to get a screen. Reed working. There's Mercado. Reed, no shot. And it counts! The referee's saying it counts! Brandon Reed juggled it, threw it up, and it went in. Let's take a look at that again. Josh Aniska, everyone going nuts.
They were all thought that he got fouled. They thought Walsh fouled him, and they were complaining about it, and it popped right back into his hands. Mercado again. You see, they thought he may have got fouled there. They didn't blow the whistle. It was Mendocino, and it just fell right back into his hands, and sure enough, what a comeback.
Brandon Reed couldn't find the field goal tonight, made it all mostly from the free throw line, and somehow he comes up with the game-winning shot, Doug Walsh. Down 19 points in this game throughout.
That's great. No, that's a great comeback. They hung in there. How about two back-to-back games they won at the buzzer? Sometimes you have one of those a year. Now they have two in a week.
Yeah, the first loss of the season from Holy Cross. They fall to 5-1. Riverside improves to 9-2. And what an unbelievable finish here in Taylor. When I come back, we will talk to Brandon Reed. We'll talk to Michael Rickard. Their team has picked up a heck of a win at home. Doug, what a great game.
That was a great game.
We'll see you in a couple weeks, right?
Yes, sir.
Couldn't ask for a better one. We'll be right back. What a finish here in Taylor. Well, what a game here in Division III of the Lackawanna League. Riverside comes back from a 19-point deficit to beat Holy Cross. The final score 71-69. And the guy that had the last second shot, Brandon Reed. And Brandon, first let's talk about what was the difference for you guys to get back in this one when you trailed by 19 points?
We really, our first half, we played horrible defense, and we knew at halftime we came in, we said, we got to defend. That's how we're going to win this game, and our defense is the reason we were in it. Okay, let's take a look at that last second shot. Tell me, as we look at it, what you were doing. Yeah, I gave it to Cross. He said, you gave it, I get it, I'm giving it back to you, and then little contact, and then there's no time. You got to throw it up, you got to shoot it, and that's where you stay after practice for, and that's what you practice for. Shots like that. And it looked like it just counted, and boy, what a win. How can this help you guys now? Because, I mean, you guys really had to work to win this one. Yeah, this is such a confidence booster, especially, coming against almost a 20-point deficit against a team like that. They're a great team, and we knew we had to step it up, and it's going to fuel us in the league play. What can you say for Holy Cross? They had that big lead. Mm-hmm. You guys started to press though a little bit, and that kind of got in their heads a little bit. How do you guys work on that press? We do. We work on it in practice almost every day. We work on everything in practice, and that really helped us to master it and to get after it at the end. What can you say about Michael Rickard and Antonacci played really well? Really was a team effort tonight. Yep, that's what those guys, Rickard, he's a great player, Frankie, great player. We needed all play together, and that's what we did coming down the stretch, and that's why we won the game. Okay, Brandon, great shot, great win, and take this one, but you got a lot of basketball to play, right? A lot of work to do, yep. Okay, Brandon Reed, our Toyota Allied Services player of the game. Michael Rickard being interviewed again. He had 22 points. He led the way for Riverside, but what a win for the Vikings here on their home floor. It was the only game in town, and what a game it turned out to be. So once again, Riverside pulls off the win over Holy Cross, 71-69, the final score. We'll be back at it here, High School Hoops, Allied Services, and Hazleton Honda. This Friday, we'll be up at Tunkhannock in a Wyoming Valley Conference Division I matchup as they take on the Crestwood Commons. So
For the entire Fox 56 sports crew, for Doug Walsh, this is Bob Ide saying so long from Taylor.
You're watching Allied Services High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY. Sponsored by Hazleton Honda.